I've done it. It's Friday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for Transformers the show. And what a show we've got for you tonight. We've got some exclusive news about TFUKCon 2023. You will hear it nowhere else apart from here. Plus, we have the Cybertronic spree. They're going to be joining us live in about half an hour to an hour's time. Action-packed show for sure. First of all, the longest credits opening sequence in Transformers YouTube. Yo, welcome back to the show. This week's show, we're just recovering from TFUKCon last week, which was amazing. I had a brilliant time. We'll go into that in 2 seconds after we launch the news. It's not funny or particularly clever, by the way, if you're going to make jokes about Arsenal tonight. So,
Toon, block away, army. Anyway, go on.
Fuck's sake. But yes.
Shirt. At least I didn't wear the shirt, that's what I would say.
Alright, well done.
You
Big
would.
man. Right, first of all the news, and we're going to talk about TFUKCon.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Yes, mate. So last Saturday and Friday was TFUKCon, the inaugural expedition of this new convention, and it was fucking amazing. We had Thew there was Jeff Senior, there was Simon Furman, there was Transformers the Show, that was us. There was also Ben's Collectibles. We had Bobby Skullface live. I mean, it was just two of the best days I've had out in a long time. I turned up at about 6 o'clock. Alexis came up to me and whispered in my ear, "I've had 6 beers." He was absolutely hammered. And that was it. We were hammered for the whole weekend, I think. But it was just so cool. I just sat down next to RJ and Alexis, and the guy was sitting next to me. He just turned around, shook my hand, and said, "Hi, my name's Simon." I was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Paul." It was just Simon Furman just sitting next to me. Then Jeff Senior just sat down next to me and just said, "Oh, do you want a drink?" He went and got some pints. And that was it for the whole. I think that was the theme for the weekend. Like, the guests were just hanging about, joining in, not slagging off Arsenal at all. It was just a fantastic couple of days. I can see the chat, Borders dude, and your fucking jokes. But yeah, we've actually got some news about next year. So first of all, well, it's happening again. So in 2023, there will be the return of TFUKCon. So it's the Transformers UK group. Please go and join it if you haven't already. And the convention will be there. So I'll put some pictures up. So with an exclusive shirt with us on it, Simon Furman, Jeff Senior. That's my actual shirt. You can see my knickers hiding underneath it. That was the boys showing the guns, bros.
I remember that video.
That was me, slightly worse for wear. Now this was Alexis and Bobby Skullface. It didn't actually start out like this. He was sitting next to me. The room was dark, and they were talking to Bobby Skullface live, and they were doing it from the corridor because they was getting some sound feedback. And Alexis sitting next to me just leant over and went, "Oh, I'm going to go outside and ask some questions." I was like, "No, don't do that, Alexis. Stop it, no." And he was like, "No, I'm going to do it." I was going, "No, don't you dare." And he just stood up, walked out in front of everyone. 2 seconds later, you can see Bobby Skullface talking to Dave Shorter, and then Alexis's face in the background on the big screen. But he was actually really, really good. He asked loads of good questions. And he loves Bobby Skullface. It was great for him to have a chance to chat to him. That was the convention room, first thing in the morning. That was 9:30, just gone 9:30. 10 o'clock, I'd say. That's our table. There's the beautiful Ed, Jeff Senior. Brad's there as well. Sorry, not Ed. Brad's there. Dazatron, Guzzy. To my right was Danny, and there's Jeff Senior and Simon Furman on the stage having a good old chat. I went upstairs after that, and that was my bed. And I got in there for a couple of hours because we had a fucking show to
disappeared
do.
for about 5 hours.
Oh, I was so hungover. But we done the show, didn't we? We went on.
Yeah,
we
did
went
do the
live.
show.
It was amazing. So just a massive well done to Luke, Greg, Simon, and everyone else who contributed.
I
got
drank
that
more
Big
than
Gav.
Alexis and Paul, and I managed to stay
that a
for the whole
competition?
Saturday. It wasn't competition because I won if it was, and I saw all the events. And,
To be fair, Jamie at one point said he was going to bed, and literally 5 minutes later appeared downstairs again.
Yeah, I could
I'm
get to
just going to
sleep.
drink through it.
I mean, I was at the hotel. I mean, the staff was fantastic. The food
Yeah,
is
they were.
fantastic, but you were kind of scared of sleeping in that hotel because you might not wake up with your organs intact, or, And we had a blackout on this Saturday night, and I swear to God, some of the guests just disappeared. So,
yeah. I was in the toilets when we had the blackout. That wasn't much fun.
Were you?
Yeah,
who's
well,
holding
I'd
my
finished.
hand?
I had finished, to be fair. But the poor bloke who was stood at the urinals when the lights all suddenly go out.
Was it wee wees or poo poos?
And then Ben Davison turned up at the door as I was walking out.
Really?
Just be careful, mate. Watch the stream.
I've weed everywhere. It was dark.
But he got to use Ben Davison. He got to use the the hotel staff lift, didn't he? Because
Oh, did
you know,
he?
obviously,
Oh,
yeah,
well, that's good.
because obviously
he
he
needs
can't
to.
walk
Yeah.
too well, and we had to go for an expedition to get back to our hotel.
Yeah, we did a bit, didn't we? At what
It was
point
cool.
Again, Alexis realised that the hotel was circular in shape.
When
Oh,
he'd
I
been
know.
walking around for an hour on the same floor.
I'm going to
I'm
the end of
so
the corridor
far
to my
right.
room. Just kept walking around.
It's a half an hour walk so far.
There were very many Alexis funny moments which you'll have to turn up to next year or see us at TFN and we will tell you all about them. But we can only speak about them. We can't have it committed to any form of media. Right, so the big news about next year. So we've got the date. So Luke, thank you for sharing this with us. So the date for next year's TFUKCon is going to be the 18th of March, obviously 2023. So book your time off work now. The 18th of March 2023 will be next year's convention, TFUKCon. So get ready for that. There's going to be loads of great guests, some returning guests, no doubt. We'll be there. I think we behaved ourselves enough. It was really funny, wasn't it? The night time, lots of
Yeah.
chats
It wasn't
about
quite what we had
bestiality.
planned. It just kind of went a bit awry, but it went awry in a good way that created new opportunities for comedy.
It did. It was
Not
funny.
always intentionally, but it went all
Yeah.
right.
So yeah,
Do
so
a quiz next time.
18th of March next year. 18th of March. 18th of March
your
next
diaries.
year. Stick in your diaries. Cool. Should we do some more news then? So again, massive, amazing, well done for everyone who's involved in TFUKCon. It was an honour to be there. But more than all of that, it was just amazing to meet some of the brilliant people who watched the show and join in.
Yes.
I really
So
enjoyed
many
it.
good
Yeah.
people.
View was so funny. I think it was the first time I watched a whole proper episode because normally I just watch for the transforming parts.
Yeah, he was. And
Thew,
he was there
yeah,
the whole
he was
time.
there.
Thew was there.
Yeah.
Ben's
he
Collectibles.
was
They were in the
really,
bar. We all watched Eurovision together, didn't we?
Oh, Eurovision! That was
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Just so many memories.
All
It
drunk
feels so much
watching
more.
Eurovision.
Yeah. No, cool. Right, do you want to do some more news, mate?
Screw it, why not? Why don't we do some news?
If you were one that people came out and said hello to us, thank you.
Yes, thank you to
much
everybody who came and said hello and were so kind, and the people who bought us pints and all that stuff. It was.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
what a shout out to Dazatron who gave me some diorama stuff.
And did you see his dioramas? They're amazing.
Oh yeah, it's all
Pam
Really,
Leslie,
really.
who gave me a Thunderclash to go with my Armada Skywarp. That was really kind of you to bring that, Sam. And lovely to meet you as well. Lovely bloke.
Like Sally Ann, who I met out the back, she gave me a couple of STDs.
I thought his name was Pedro. Anyway, let's move on. So
Pedro
news.
Mendes.
We kind of missed this last week because we were busy getting drunk and having fun on Saturday, and I think this had dropped on the Saturday. Anyway, there was a video done by one of the guys from the Hasbro Pulse Reveals, the guy with the glasses thin who's got lots of Transformers behind him. Sometimes I've forgotten his name, but he did a video with basically their, I don't want to say first edition, but their like first prototype, proper prototype of the Star Saber. And is it Leo Kaiser? Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. And these are just stills from the video, which have been shared by loads of different sites like TFW 2005 and such. Just showing it off. So the paintwork isn't the final paint job. I mean, they were talking about the video itself. I misread it. I glanced at it. Oh, it's only 4 minutes long. I'll just quickly put it on and have a watch. 44 minutes long. But anyway, never mind. Never get that.
I just want to go back to TFUKCon. So, yeah,
Let's go back there and watch it.
Yes.
Anyway, so there you go. It's for scale. Obviously, they're not the finished versions, but you just get a better idea of what it's going to look like. Interestingly, there was a bit of a mixed response from some people to the reveal, but I think some of the people being a bit more negative about how it looked were people who hadn't actually ordered it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe if you've ordered it and you had a bit of a negative
probably
reaction.
Go Pop fans.
Oh, not Go Pop fans. I mean, I think it looks good. Obviously, it's not the finished version, so like with the paint and everything, you can't.
Does it
really
come with both
judge
hands?
It comes with an extra pair of hands, which is always handy. I mean, you get a good idea of the scale of it and everything. I mean, it's hard to know what to say, really. It's Star Saber, isn't it? And then, what do you call it? Victory Saber? Victory Leo? No, it's Victory Leo, didn't I? I said Leo Saber. Victory Leo is the other bot that you get with the set. And then the Micromasters weren't shown because apparently they hadn't been sent by the factory yet. If you watch the video, it's all explained in there. I think he said something about they're not new molds, so they haven't bothered sending them. Something along those lines. But you get an idea of the scale there. I know, it's a shame Alexis isn't here, because if there's nothing he loves more, it's the scale in inches of anything. So there you go. You get an idea of what you're getting for your money's worth. Yeah, and I don't know. It's one of those things. I mean, it looks good. Obviously, you need to see the final finished version. They mention in the video they're changing a few things. But I just think it's interesting to see the development of it, and it's interesting to kind of going along step by step with them.
Yeah, and it certainly seems good value for money when you compare it to the Cybertron Metroplex.
Yeah. And then we've got obviously now, Jamie, you might have some more photos of this. Have you coming up? Have you done? Yeah. So I haven't put too many in, but these were a few that were shared previously, and obviously Jamie will share some, and it was just to show off. Obviously, I can't remember who this was. Oh, I'm really sorry. If you're watching the show, then it was you. And
I didn't do any of the playing thing. I've only, just transformed it a couple.
Yeah, these I think were just some comparisons quickly, weren't they? At the time, somebody literally got it out of the box and went, right, let's quickly show a couple of comparisons. But I'm sure Jamie's photos will show in a little bit more detail, or at least show.
I've just got photos of the robot mode, to be honest. Yeah. So,
well, it's the mode we all buy them for, surely, isn't it? Well, really? There's a debate. Oh yes, remember this? What are these called again? The ultimate things. Anyway, Super Sevens. Is that what it is? Anyway, this is their bombshell, their Action Master bombshell, or Cyclonus.
I like it.
No, not Cyclonus. What am I talking about? Skywolf. It's Skywolf. Anyway, Ed'll be all over that now. Yeah, and it is what it is.
Like a rash.
I mean, it's basically a big Action Master. So, looks all right. Looks quite cartoony. I don't know if it looks too cartoony for me, and it needs a bit more Super 7. Thank you, Mick. If it needs to be a bit more, I don't know.
Transformable?
Well, yeah, that too.
It's a low, easy blow, isn't it? I guess if you're into these.
You see, we say that, but they're like, I think we discussed it last week, or whichever week it was Rohan was on.
I'm just not interested
it's like 50 to 70 quid. I mean,
I wouldn't get that. I'm just thinking about buying a kebab just now.
Are you thinking back to TFUKCon?
Yeah.
Paul went for a kebab at one point. We never found out I never found out what happened to it.
Oh, that is one sordid story.
There were people in the morning having breakfast saying that there were rumours Paul was still walking around looking for a kebab.
I went to bed at 6 a.m. on the first night. I'm 40. Absolutely kidding.
Look at me. And then we had, oh my god, my mind's gone blank. What's this called, Jamie, again? Oh my god, Cybertron Override.
Override. Is it Override? No, it's not Override.
But this is the Legacy version, so not the actual Cybertron version. And so it was leaked through Prime versus Prime. We saw this, or another image, I think it was first, and then we got this clearer image. And then we got some actual clearer images. I, again, haven't put all of them in because there's loads out there. I mean, most of these came from Prime versus Prime, who's getting back on form with getting the bots in early. And you get a good idea of scale. I think it looks quite good. I quite like the look of it, and it's nice to see a fembot that they haven't tried to stretch it out to make it look, an actual female form. You just don't need to. Looking good. Voyager sized, I heard. Well, it doesn't look particularly tall, but then if you see Voyager and Deluxe, they're not always about the size now, are they?
No, apparently it's the engineering. I saw an article the other day.
Yeah.
They charge more. Hasbro was saying that they charge more for the engineering.
Yeah,
so they were saying that about Hot Rod, Studio Series Hot Rod.
Which, of course, was the same article where they confirmed that we are getting 5 Dinobots in the leader scale. So we will be getting a Swoop and a Snarl, which immediately prompted some people to complain they didn't want a leader class Swoop. Which...
Really?
Yeah, so
Fuck
not
off.
many. There was a few
Go
people.
fuck yourself. Fucking fucks.
I was just like, oh, come on.
Right,
They're giving us what we
diplomatic
want.
response.
It won't
Fuck
be
off.
You know we're going to get something smaller.
It's
It
too
won't be really
big.
size, but it'll come with bits and pieces. So.
Why?
Anyway.
My God.
Oh, and then Tarantulas, which is again Legacy. Is it? Yeah, it is coming out on
I
Legacy.
think that
isn't it?
looks pretty fine.
Another one for all your Beast Wars fans, and it looks quite nice. Good head sculpt, from what I understand. Being a Beast Wars expert, obviously, quite close to the cartoon, the animation model. I'm sure somebody will correct me from in the chat. If you do, just remember that I don't really care.
And that's a big chest plate.
They look quite good, all the beasties together. It comes with his, I hear, iconic weapons. That might be what Hasbro called them, I'm not sure. Alongside Arachnia, Waspinator, Scorponok? That is Scorponok, right? Good. Thanks for your help.
Sorry.
And anyway, there's another little group shot, and then one final one to finish off.
Nice.
So yeah, Tarantulas. A lot of people excited about that one, and you know, good on you, you lovely little Beast Wars fans. And then this. So this was leaked an hour ago by Prime versus Prime. Might be a little bit more. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. So it was just this photo, which immediately in the comments on this photo was people saying, "Legacy Scourge. It's Legacy Scourge," and it is. These are stills from his latest video, stills professionally taken by me on my phone, so that I can.
So
actually
what's the
show
story
photo.
behind this Scourge? Because a lot of people say that as soon as Laser Prime was shown.
He first appeared in. Somebody will correct me. I'm sure in the chat. I'm sure he first appeared in RID, and he's basically like a cloned version of Optimus Prime who is evil. Different. There's been different versions of it. There's a very good Christmas
like
Steely
Kit
video
and
on it
Car,
if you want to watch it.
from Knight Rider and stuff.
Well, it's kind of. I think it's kind of linked into Nemesis Prime. It's a bit more complicated, but he's become quite an iconic character and much loved. So a lot of people not surprised at all to see this because the original toy of this was based off the.
Reese's got eyes you can bloody see.
Yeah, well, see, it does look good. I mean, paint job wise, I'm not particularly bothered about this mold, but seeing it in these colours is one of those annoying things that makes you want to go, yeah, actually, I'll get that. And a little side-by-side comparison with the truck modes. I think it's pretty nice. I think it's pretty nice. It's gonna probably force me into spending 60 quid on it, or however much it's gonna cost.
I need to transform him. I forgot I had him.
I mean, it looks good. That's the thing, and I think there'll be a lot of people who would be more inclined to buy this maybe than the Laser Prime, or maybe want both so they can have them in a standoff against each other. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, that was all of the mainline news, and now we crack on with the third-party news. Thank God we have a third-party expert here in the form of Mr. Paul Farrelly. Take it away.
I will do my best, Alexis. Grimlockl. There you go. Done. Next. Easy. Fucking easy. No, this is Newage. Yeah. So they're doing the Dinobots. Yeah. If you go back one, I know we're not allowed to go back one, are we?
Go back.
You went really quickly. You gave me like a second.
I love this, Paul's normally they're going quickly, move on.
He just looks nice. He's tiny. Newage is probably one of the smallest of all the Legends scale Transformers, so he's going to be a tiny one. Look at all that engineering though. It's very Ghibli inside his leg, isn't it? You've got the Mech Fans Toys one. It's fairly large. It does sit in nicely with Legend scale. But I like it that they've gone for the cartoon colours. They look good. This will, looks good.
Look good, actually. It does.
Oh, there you go. It's a bit more size.
Yeah. I think these photos are great at selling it as well. Look at that.
They think that they look a bit like Liam's and Jamie's photos.
To recreate. Yeah, well, that's, you know what? I saw that photo and I immediately thought Jamie could do that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Could have been Jamie's.
The water one's awesome, Bo. Wait till you see that. The fishing one. Or did we miss that?
Hang on. It might be in there. There was a lot of photos downloaded today. I had a busy day. It comes with a lot of bits and pieces, little fishy. And Sharkticons. And there's the fish and standing in the water.
Oh.
Is that the one you were talking about, Jamie?
Yes. That's great.
There you go, standing in the water. So you've got the little ripples. It's very well done. I mean, it does look good, but it's teeny and tiny, so I don't think it will be for me. But it looks very good. I think Legends collectors will be really pleased. And will this mean? Have they done the Dinobots before Newage, or are they going to do them all again? So it's going to be brand new.
This is all new, so that's why. Because like you get him, you think, oh, we're probably going to get the others. And Newage, some of the best Legends bots you can get in terms of their engineering stuff. The build quality, the colours are amazing. They can be a bit pricey, especially if you don't pick them up first of all, because then they jump up in price. Don't get them from eBay as well. Get them from a Chinese site or something. Cool.
And then we had this is now remind me who
Fans Toys.
Fans Toys.
I've actually ordered that.
Hannibal,
which is their version of Cerebros and Spike, or whatever version you kind of take. If you take Cerebros to be the little bot and whatever. Anyway,
Kapow had a sale or something. They had knocked £3 off it, and I just automatically bought it because it was on sale.
That's £3. It's made all the difference.
What's that? £3 off head. Sold.
Then I went, oh no, what have I done?
Good news, Mainline.
I love it that you're accidentally collecting Fans Toys now.
That's the way I'd have put it to my wife. Well, it was £3 off, so actually we saved £3.
Money in the bank. That's what
exactly.
So is that HasLab or was that Studio Cell? That looks like HasLab. Yeah, it must be.
Just looking at the detail on it, it's not the Studio Cell, because Studio Cell's a lot cleaner, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah,
so there
you
it's
go.
Going to be huge, isn't it?
It's happening. Metropex from Like Toys. So this is the one Alexis was going to wax lyrical about, isn't it?
Yep, he's not here, so
he's not
this
here.
Is Metroplex.
Alexis is in conversation, I think it's fair to say, with the person who is creating this.
Yeah, apparently he's trying to get them mass-produced, isn't he? Or produced in certain numbers to make it economical to sell. Good on him if he does. It looks really good.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good version of Metroplex. So I think a lot of people would be interested, but it's the price, isn't it? Because I think originally we kind of heard around $500, and then the last thing I saw was that with all the production costs and everything, it might be closer to $1,000. So might price some people out of it. But it is 48 inches. I'm sure that's what Alexis repeatedly said last weekend while drunk. 48 inches was mentioned many times, and I'm assuming he was talking about Metroplex. Yeah. So there you go. I think it looks pretty impressive. But again,
it is. It's just going to be huge, isn't it?
Yeah. Magic Square, this isn't it? Have we already seen this before? Is this new?
We have. It's just sort of landed now. Magic Square Prime 2, version 2, lovely and clean,
and holding Starscream's head.
Yeah, look at that
edible
pose.
to me. I don't know.
It does look like a cake.
Yeah,
Cakey Prime.
Cakey Prime.
I can eat it.
Oh, and then Fans Hobby. How dare you, Fans Hobby, try to rob me of all my cash? So not only are they doing a version of Double Dealer, but now they've revealed that they're doing Dreadwind as well, or whatever the Japanese name. I can't remember now off the top of my head. Hydra or something like that. And so, yeah, there's loads of photos. Again, I had to be very selective because I could have put about 50 photos of this in, but I've tried not to. I think I've got it down to 48. So it comes with the Power Master. That actually fits in. It's looking pretty good. I'm a little concerned about the size of the feeties because they don't look particularly large, but it seems to pose all right. It's hard to tell, isn't it? But it looks good. I'll be interested to see what the price point is on this.
And that head sculpt, when the colours are done, that's the bit which is going to sell it to me.
Yeah. You really, because the head sculpt has to sell it for Dreadwind, and it looks pretty good. Yeah. I'm excited. I wouldn't say that it looks like perfect. Oh god, I'm just going to sound like one of those fans. It doesn't look perfect to me. It's not exactly the way I would have done it, but it's
Don't make a full-size swoop.
Yeah, I don't want a leader class swoop. Take them all back. And there they are. That's a nice look at the kind of size that you're getting for them. And yeah, probably going to have to sell the wife. Anyway, it looks good. Little bit kibbly on the back, but it's got to go somewhere, so I will forgive it. And there it is alongside. Is that Double Evil?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the jet mode for Double Evil. And yeah, Dreadwind. Who doesn't like Dreadwind? Whoever you are, go away. And that's the combined mode, so it is going to combine with their version of Darkwing. So,
and Dreadwind, was he the final Transformer to do so after Grimgrams in the TF Transformers? Dread Tidings.
Dread Tidings was the longest running. I know that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Dread Tidings was the longest running and arguably the most popular. But whether it was the final one, I can't remember. I remember they did a little comic strip where he got kicked out. I want to say that was by Grimlockl. I thought Grimgrams came beforehand. Anyway, look it up, all you nerds out there. Find out for me. And then
didn't work for you.
They do. They do now. X-Transbots they're dipping their toe into the Nightbeat and Minerva. So who was it who did the other one that you bought, Paul?
Fans Hobby.
Yeah. Look pretty similar. Lots of facial expressions. Definitely my favourite down there. That's Friday night at TFUKCon, the bottom one. And that's probably Friday morning. There you go. Looks good. And there's their version of Minerva, which is called Nightingale. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Looking mighty fine. And car mode with weapon storage to also, I think, double as the exhaust pipe.
Love good weapon storage in the naught mode.
Not a visible fist in sight.
Exactly. Darn and blast.
Anyway, so yeah, there you go. And also, oh look, Minerva gets some interesting facial expressions too. I'm not quite sure what that one is. There you go.
Cool.
And then this version of Devastator. Anybody?
Just make it up. Creo.
Bertie's Toys. Creo.
Plasticine. Play-Doh. Is this Play-Doh? Yeah, it's Play-Doh. Play-Doh's latest masterpiece.
Fisher Price.
Devastator.
There you go. It's Lucky Cat Devastator. Alexis will be absolutely doing his nut when he watches this. He always has a moan if we mess up the third party news.
Is it loads and loads?
It
looks good.
There's lots of bits to it, but
look at all those
and then
wheels.
some boxes that come with it, which I'm assuming is some part of some diorama, which I assume comes with this, because Alexis sent all. You pack them in storage, nice for your Constructicons. So there's that too, which I'm sure next week Alexis will have more photos of and accuse us of murdering all this, and he'll tell you more details about it.
Oh, Alexis is off tonight.
Yes, in case you haven't noticed, he's not. This isn't like TFUKCon. We can't find him or something. He's actually off
the night off.
And do it. Yeah, we let him have the night off, and that, my friends, is the news.
Brilliant. Just got two little bits of news which Mick sent in. So this is Joy Toy, and he got the latest Chaos Marine and sent me some pictures. So thanks, nice. Mick, for sending it over. Look at that. It looks beautiful. So these are the new Joy Toy Chaos Marine Space Marines. And they look lush, as the other ones do as well.
Is it just me that it feels really weird to be talking to you two and not have the constant chatter of other people, pints being drawn? It just seems really quiet.
It does.
Or is it because Alexis isn't here? It's really quiet.
It is.
Anyway. Well, we got... Oh, tunes.
Important music.
Right. What's next? Pickups, isn't it?
What an ear you got for it. Pickups.
We now return to the Transformers.
Cool. Who would like to go first on some pickups?
I don't mind. Do you want to go last, Jamie, or do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Cool. Okay. Do we stick you in the stream, Bear?
Yeah.
Bow chicka wow. Chicka bow.
So I was missing for about the last two shows, and that's because on the 29th of April, my cat died on just really before the show was about to start, and that's Gemma, and she's the originator of the cat scale, you know, and the originator of my Photoshop skills, because every photo I did when I was using the card, it was full of cat hairs. You know, it was always a fight to get her down. She was always jumping up, trying to get there. And sometimes I would go upstairs and I'd come back down. She was still sitting on the carpet looking up at the table, but I would have a massive cat hair, so the little get jumped up. But yeah, so there she is, the originator of the cat scale. And she was a fantastic and my best friend, you know, really was. So yeah, that was like 2 weeks, about 3 weeks ago now. And you know, so that's why I wasn't there for the last two shows.
Should we raise a glass to Gemma?
Yeah, well, by being
One out.
Cheers.
Gemma.
Cheers, Gemma. So this was the photo shoot, which I had, the last one I actually did with Gemma, and so this was just basically the sort of Beast War figures, which are like Night Prowler, etc. So I'm just going to go through these photos really quick because we've got a lot of stuff to do. So just going to go through them fast. I really like Night Prowler. Pity he is the exact same mold. He's still got the same tab problems. This guy always looked like a bit of a Blues Brother to me, but a lot of people loved him. Terrified of wasps. There you have Sandstorm, not the Sandstorm we all want. Another Beast Wars Sandstorm.
Oh, he'll be coming. They've done Springer.
Yeah.
He won't be far behind.
You know, but they're not bad, these Beast War figures. You know, when it comes to Night Prowler, he's like a blank canvas. Really, he has no history. He's actually got an Autobot insignia, not a Beast Wars. You know, well, prime. What do you call it? Maximo insignia. He's got an Autobot insignia. It's a blank slate. He's got no real backstory whatsoever. The other two have kind of like backstories, you know. I've forgotten the name of the Wasp dude, but he had, he had a bit of a coward, likes to shoot from a distance, etc. Sandstorm, he had quite in depth. I think with the sort of one of the early Transformer conventions used to do a comic, and they had quite a lot of backstory with him, you know, going against Unicron, etc.
Publications?
I can't remember what the name of them, but it's something they're defunct now.
The TFUKCon ones from America.
Yeah, but it was the very early conventions, and they sort of like comics with a lot of backstory to it. But yes, so there they are. There's some more photos. I think that's my favourite one.
Oh, that's amazing, Jamie.
The whole pack.
Yes. Sandstorm, which is actually a lot better in hand. I was lucky with that shot.
That's really good.
That shot. I think that was literally a test shot. Then I never got to try to do the proper shot, but the test shot worked, so it was good.
Borders Dude said, is it a vinyl or cloth background you use, Jamie?
Well, actually, I'm going to show. I think
Cool.
the last picture is going to show what I'd use.
They're just cool. They just remind me of product shots.
So there's my setup for that photo shoot. What you saw there, I just had a monitor. That monitor was a 20-inch. It's Mainline's monitor, which I grabbed out of her work office and moved into mine. It's our DVDs I used to get the height right. And there's the different light sources I used. Approximately used for a lot of the shots. I just used two light sources with one light source coming from the front and maybe one or two from the back, so maybe 2 or 3. But sometimes you could go overkill and I'd just hit it with like 8 light sources, you know, and then dim it, different things, just getting the shadows right and shine stuff out. The grass was from Tesco, which was good.
Oh yeah.
The rock is from a fishing a pet store if you're buying like for the fish tank. So it's some of the rocks like from a garden centre, etc. So yeah, and a Domeo jar, which I use quite a lot to help with heights and stuff.
Because you've spoken a lot with Liam, haven't you, at Toybox Soapbox, and I know he's commented before about how he just picks things up as he's like going around. He'll just spot something, whether it's like in a place like you or in a toy store or whatever, and just go, that would look really good in the photos.
He's got such good stuff, and I've picked up stuff before. Then I've got something else to share, Paul.
Cool.
And and then I see his stuff, and I'm like, oh no, I can't do it now because he's got it. And he's had it like years before me. I just never realised. So there's Cyclonus and Nightstick, and I'm using Gazatron's diorama piece, which was basically like a bunker.
Nice.
So that's what he's there around there with.
Nice.
And
good.
And there's just another shot there of Cyclonus. The colours are a lot better than the Cyclonus. I do like the colours, and the eyes are much better. Even if the light, it's got light tubing, but even if it's not working, the eyes still look quite good. They're quite distinct. So it's like a win-win situation. They're very dark, the eyes are still clear because they've got that nice red colour, and then they've worked it so when the light comes in, it shines up even better. So it's not like dead eye syndrome. But apart from that, I've got to say, I'm not too impressed by this. It does feel like there's quality control is going out the window with this figure. Some of the joints could be loose, which I've heard people talk about. My own arm was quite loose, so I had to use a screwdriver to tighten it. That was Cyclonus I'm talking about, not my arm. Yeah, and it's like it's a lot of flesh, or like where you can see the nibs as if it was taken from a bit of plastic, to connect together. There's, so there's a lot of bit of discolorization. There's some paint apps not being applicated right. So I'm not too impressed. I mean, it does look better, but when I had the other figure in hand, the other Cyclonus in hand, he just felt more solid. And much better paintwork on them compared to the sort of new Cyclonus. So, yeah, quality control it's kind of going out the window, especially when you think that figure's about 44 quid to buy or 45 pound to buy, and and you're not getting value for money. I think you're literally paying 20 quid more for the Nightstick figure.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because you can pick up now the other version of the Cyclonus mold quite cheap in some places, can't you? And so 45 quid, but it's the toy deco. I mean, that's where they're getting us, really, isn't it? It's the deco. What did you think of the stickers? Because I noticed in the photos you hadn't applied them.
Oh, I'm terrified of putting stickers because everyone said to me, as long as you apply them, okay, it'll be fine to put the stickers. And I went, what the fuck? I can't apply stickers.
You need some kind of specialist equipment, some tweezers, and just make sure you get it just lined up right.
I need to take it to TFUKCon. My fantasy, as I always told you, was to have, have Gav, in a cage.
Lesbians.
Doing customs for me.
Two of them.
And now I would have Gazatron in one of those cages and doing dioramas for me. And look, I saw some of his paintwork in his little wee figures. Amazing work. So, and I would always say, oh God, I've forgotten his name. Guy who did my plaster.
Nathan Craig.
Yeah, Nathan.
Yes, Nathan, sorry.
And obviously Nathan would be there. So I had 4 cages.
No, we're not back on the cages.
Yeah, and I'd have them working constantly, doing
slaves.
customs and dioramas. Well, they're not slaves; they just can't leave of their own accord. But they get paid in KFC.
Kidnap victims.
Such strong words, Andy. Such strong words.
I was going to say, I'm so glad that you elaborated on the my fantasy involves Gav. But then I'm not sure if it was actually that much better. Anyway, no, but I get what you mean. It would be amazing to have so many talented people able to kind of do all that stuff for you, so you don't have to worry about it. But,
I know. What a talented bunch they are. It'd be it'd be the ultimate squad, wouldn't it?
Right. So, Andy, would you like to go next?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jamie. You got anything else, mate?
Oh no, that's all.
Is it cool?
I got a few things. So from Guzzy Hero at TFUKCon, I got Pounce.
He was a cool dude, wasn't he?
Pounce. He was a nice bloke.
That changed
And
because
everybody was, though. I mean, there was nobody.
Oh, yeah, there's no dicks, was there?
Chat with, who wasn't really nice and really good to chat with. And it was interesting how many people hadn't been to a convention before, or a Transformers convention, and how surprised they were with how easy it was just to chat with people. And, you can just go up to, I mean, it's not like we're some kind of superstar celebrities or anything, but I had a few people say, it's really nice just to be able to come up and chat with you. Well, yeah.
That's Alexis.
Alexis always say that.
Tell him to go away. I'm like, no, look, go away. I don't want to talk to you. It's like, Andy, it's so nice being able to talk to you for a bit.
Yeah, Paul hates me. And then I also got, how much I hate the Ironhide mold. So, of course, I got the DK2 guard, which is mostly for the colours. In the colours, I just think it looks spectacular. I still think there's issues with the mold, but I love the colours of it. And, so I was really happy to pick up this red face kit. So I'm going to do some headcanon where Ironhide's, I don't know, joined some Black Ops squad, and he's just got that paint job because, Black Ops.
He's a clone and evil because he's black.
Oh, could be. And then, I'll go for this one next. Then from Baden Davison, just because I've been thinking about picking one of these up for ages again to go with my little mini movie collection, for £5, I got Revenge of the Fallen. And I know there's a Studio Series 1 coming out at some point, but we haven't seen that yet. So this will do for £5. That's a
Do you know
bargain.
Ben Davison was really nice to talk to?
Oh, he's a lovely, lovely bloke. I've heard that in the community anyway. I've heard so many people in videos saying, met Ben Davison, what a lovely guy. And he is. He's just genuine bloke. You could chat to him for hours.
He was chatting to everyone as well. So many different people.
He said to me, I'm not sure if it's broken, but it wasn't. The foot kind of had popped off, but you can just pop it back on. It's just on a ball joint. And he's got that thing with the feet, in case nobody's ever experienced this figure. It's like this feature they put in, so you put it down and the feet are like spring-loaded, so that it'll stand quite well. But as the moment you lift it up, his feet go like that. But apart from that, I love it. Yeah, I just love the design of this. And I don't really like a lot of the movie bots, but something about that Egyptian kind of style design I do like. And then the last thing I
was trying to work out why Ben Davison's so nice. Do you think when he goes home he's got a dungeon?
Why is he so nice? I'm
really about the S&M this week.
I know. I love the fact that he's like, nice people are very suspicious. They're not horrible like me.
They must be into sex.
This is not actually the last thing I got, but from Rohan. Now, I got burned with my first Retgar. It had QC issues, and I love Retgar, so it really put me off the mold as a whole. And I kind of was reluctant to get another one, but Rohan gave me this for a very good price, and I thought, go on then. And I'm glad to report this one does not have any QC issues, not that I've noticed anyway. And so I've got my beloved Retgar back, and really pleased we've got him. So those are all the things I got from TFUKCon, and then this week Claire bought me a kickback because I've been moaning to her for ages about how I want a kickback, and it was in stock at Smith's. I haven't had time to open it. I was planning to open it today, but today I had a job interview, which I got. Woo. So this is I got a new job.
Good day today.
And you know what? Being a stripper is perfectly respectable, Andy.
It is.
And to be fair, I've been working to join the Dream Boys for so long. But now that I finally achieved it, they were a bit worried that I was too large, but it's we'll get round it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
People do get round it.
Not as often as they used to. I'm pretty sure the wife's watching this right now. Thanks for that. Yes, but that's everything I got. Yeah. So
cool.
What have you got?
I only got one thing, which was from a little place called TFUKCon, which is Scourge.
Kebab.
A kebab. I didn't get my kebab ever. I did get a lot of meat though. So this was from RJ, who got me Scourge. Picked it up. And Danny, thank you, because I was trying to transform him. It was getting a bit loud. I went off and spoke to someone else. I came back and Danny had transformed him. So cheers, mate. And what a gent you were as well. Love chatting to you. So that was my only thing, my only pickup. Loads of congrats in the chat. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
You also got Skywarp.
For me getting Scourge, not for you getting your job.
Oh, you got Skywarp, didn't you?
Yeah.
What's happened to your little Skywarp?
Yeah, it's in my bag.
Are you one of those people who's
Shitty little Skywarp
and doesn't really unpack it for at least a week or two?
No, I did. It was my work bag, so I took my work laptop and everything, so I shoved it. And the other day I was at work, quite an important meeting, and I got into my bag, and there was Combinable Skywarp. I was trying to look for my laptop speakers.
Just get that out in front of everyone.
Yeah. I click Transformers, everyone.
Oh, that was one of my favourite moments last weekend when we were doing the foreplay and Jamie picked up your
and I was fucking looking for it. So we're all on stage, all waiting, and we've all got a Skywarp each. And I'm looking around going, where the fuck's my Combinable Skywarp gone? The little one, the Legends one. Couldn't find it anywhere. And the show's about to go live, and Jamie's just sitting there with it in his hand.
Because he thought it was his.
He thought it was his one.
That was a beloved figure of yours, though, wasn't it, Paul? I mean, there was a lot of history for you with that figure, right?
What, Legends Skywarp?
You bought it 5 minutes before, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. No, and because I had Newage Skywarp, which was what I was going to show.
Yeah.
But I left them in my room, which was on the 5th floor of the Strathallan, which is between a 2 and a 3 hour journey away. So I just went to Rohan. I still owe Rohan, I still owe you £10 for that. And I said, can I have a Skywarp, please, sir?
He'll do it for you for a £5.
And what's even worse is the null ray guns had been taken off him, and he said, "I bought." Rohan said, "You can have that for a £10." I went, "Right, cool, cheers." So I took it because I needed a Skywarp desperately for foreplay. The show was about to start.
I can't believe he charged you a £10.
He said it'd be £10. I said, "No probs, cool, I'll take it." So I took it, and he went, "By the way, it's got no null rays because Jamie took them about 10 minutes ago."
And he gave me no money.
He got it for free.
Yeah. But cool. Okay, it is now time. Talking of Rohan.
I think you'll find Rohan needs a minor raise. No.
It's time for Rohan's Skywarp tomfoolery corner.
To save the world from the evil Decepticons, the heroic Autobots are led by Optimus Prime. He's more than meets the eye. He's a Rohan in disguise.
Rohan, who is this guy? Rohan, the one and only Rohan.
Thank you guys, hello everyone, and welcome back to the corner. It is the review for Magic Square Jazz, and this guy is so cool. Let's be honest, one of the few figures out there of this character which can be presented in multiple different forms. You can have him without his wings, you can have him with his wings, you can have him with his wings and his windows, you can have him with his speakers, you can have him with his speakers around his waist, you can have him with his speakers around his doors. It's all to play for with this multitudinal character. So, without further ado, let's get into the review. Right, here we go with our Through the Generations review of Magic Square's Jazz, and this one's going to be a little bit different. It's going to take place within the iGear Teletran 1 environment, and here's Jazz in his lovely box. It's a very small box, black this time from Magic Square, as they've been doing more recently with some of their newer ones. On the back, we just have the silhouette of the Porsche 911, and not suitable for persons under 16 years of age. Magic Square MSB 35, Magic Square on the top, warning on the bottom, and the awesome little Magic Square logo. So let's get him out of the box. And here he is. Comes in robot mode, fully assembled, does not look like he requires any adjustment whatsoever, unless of course you wish to have his door wings out. There's the figure itself. He comes with a baggie full of accessories, speakers, guns, faces, and other bits and pieces. Obviously comes with his instruction manual and his collector's card. He is a good looking boy. Cleans up nicely on the back. Got a very G1 aesthetic from More Than Meets the Eye, where you can see the back end of him transforming from his Cybertronian mode and collapsing onto his backpack. That is very cool, and it seems to work quite well. There is not too much kibble all the way from the top to the bottom. He cleans up extremely nicely. Here we have him with his rocket launcher attached and holding his rifle. The rocket launcher is on a hinge joint, so you can angle it up and down as you so wish. And the rifle is very reminiscent of his G1 toy and in the cartoon, to be honest with you. A little bit of hollow piece and lines going through there, but ultimately looks pretty good. And so does the rocket launcher, which is a two-piece piece. You can take the missile out. Obviously, does not fire any projectiles. Flipping his wings out is simple enough, and you can angle them at whatever angle you wish. From there, of course, you have the option to put the windows out. I quite like this look. And from there, it's simple enough to apply his speakers to said door wings. By the way, none of this is in the instructions. The instructions just show you how to transform him to and from bot to car mode. And so you have to work this out for yourself. It's not that hard, but it is a pain in the arse if you don't know what you're doing. And it is possible to have them on his shoulders as well, although they don't seem to peg in anywhere. So they probably would potentially move around, although they don't fall off unless you move them upside down. For me, I very much prefer the get down and boogie look of the Season 2 cartoon accuracy. Here we have Magic Square's Jazz up against his G1 counterpart and the Studio Series 86 Jazz with the upgrade kits applied from Matrix Workshop, I believe it is. I would have liked for Magic Square's Jazz to come with his winch and hook that we saw in More Than Meets the Eye Episode 1, but we can't have everything, and let's be honest, he is the most streamlined and best looking version of the three, although the accessories on Studio Series 86 Jazz are pretty cool, let's be honest. And adding in one more Jazz bot for my Through the Generations comparison, we have the G1 Pretender Jazz inside element, which is pretty much the only other figure I've got. I sold all the rest of my Jazzes, animated and so forth, when I cut down on my collection. I also sold off the Newage Jazz because it was just way too small. Right, here we have a scale comparison of the bot mode with other manufacturers. We've got some Magic Square in Hound and Soundwave, Ultra Magnus there, we've got MFT's Blitzwing towering over those guys. We have some Hasbro figures in Coronation Starscream, Puffer and the Red Line Soundwave, as well as Core Class Soundwave, who oddly enough figures quite well in this line. We have some New Age figures in Shockwave, in Shrapnel, and in Brawn, and then just for fun, XTB minifigure Perceptor, and that old Spike I like to have around. I think he scales perfectly with the Magic Square car bots, also kind of fits in well with the Core Class Soundwave and New Age's Shockwave, and sort of goes relatively okay with Magic Square's Ultra Magnus, a bit too short for MFT's Blitzwing and Hasbro's figures. Right, so transformation. I would have loved to show you guys the transformation on this guy, but unfortunately time was not on my side this week with far too many work projects on the go, so I haven't had the time to be able to learn it and to be able to slicken out that process. But you can see it looks fantastic in alt mode. The transformation itself, let's just say it's intense. There are some very small little flaps that need to be pulled out and moved around. The legs especially seem to come apart at all angles and go back together. It is very, very intricate and well engineered and looks beautiful. He does roll. He does have a little bit of undercarriage. You can actually see his head poking through there, but you can't see his face, so that's good. And he does actually look fantastic from all angles. There's a little bit of paint flakage on my copy, but nothing massive. And in terms of the shape and look of the Porsche 911, it's very, very accurate to the G1 toy / the actual design of the car. You've got a little exhaust pipe on the back, which is cool, and obviously the massive 911 wing there. The front lights are well detailed. The paintwork from the G1 cartoon is all there. Number 4 is great. And so here we have the alternate mode comparisons with his other friendly Jazzes. Studio Series 86, which cleans up nicely, looks good, well proportioned. Generation 1 Jazz also looks excellent. The Pretender Jazz, as you can see, is pretty well yellowed and worn. Unfortunately, I'm gonna take him out. He doesn't really compare very well. But Magic Square's Jazz looks the part. He's got great paint apps. He actually has painted windows, and the wheels look the part too. I think he looks fantastic all the way around. The back end of Studio Series 86 leaves a little bit to be desired, and Magic Square does not disappoint. Right then, final thoughts on this snazzy jazzy. Too jazzy? I don't think he's too jazzy. I think he's absolutely fantastic. The look and feel of this guy is great. The transformation has amazing engineering, although it is a little bit intense. I don't think I'll be transforming him every day of the week. It's quite clever in the way in which they get everything to fold up underneath his body shell, and ultimately for the price point, which was a reasonable $40-ish, I think he's great. You need to pick him up. Definitely way better than the Newage Jazz in my opinion, purely just on the height alone, but also on the actual proportions of the body. And then he collapses into this really nice little Porsche 911, which is amazing, almost like mass shifting. I didn't show off all of the accessories, i.e. the additional faces, because mine came with 3 of the same face for some reason. But anywho, who cares? So for another week, that's been me on Rohan's Corner. Hope you've enjoyed this Through the Generations review of Jazz. Back to the studio. Transformers, Rohan's in disguise.
Awesome! Thank you very much, Rohan, for that brilliant little episode there. So that was Magic Square Jazz. That's cool. That should really be in the title. I should have thought of that, because that's quite an exclusive. Fuck. But a great review. I will edit the title. I'll chop something out and stick him in. Jamie, I see you've lined up some Transformer bots. Do you want me to share them now, or is that for after?
That's what Alexis wanted to share.
Okay.
It was the picture to do with the band. We're going to have it on later.
Ooh. And how long, Andy, until they're here?
I believe, well, we'd arranged that it would be 9 p.m. our time, which is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So they should be along shortly.
I'm excited.
Please don't show that.
That's what I'm going to show them. Before we do. So the guys from and girls from Cybertronic Spree will be here any second now. Before they do, we've got a photo from Alexis. So he wanted us to display this nice photo, which he's kind of put together. And am I right in saying that they're all the members of the Cybertronic Spree?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what he's tried to recreate using his figures there. So obviously we've got Unicron, we've got Soundwave, Hot Rod, and Arcee, who are the actual 2 members of the band who will be joining us. Hot Rod and Arcee, who I think it's fair to say lead singers and very important members of the band. We've got the Quintesson, Shockwave, who I think is on drums if memory serves me correctly. Bumblebee, who's more like a bit of a dancer and hype man, and Rumble,
the pole dancer.
Yeah, Rumble, whenever I watch any of the videos, Rumble tends to mostly be wandering around in the crowd dancing and just having fun. So he's got a great job. I want that job.
I could do that.
Exactly. But yes, this is Alexis's little homage, because unfortunately he can't be here tonight. So he wanted to do a little something related to it.
Sparkplug got murdered by Unicron.
Well, Sparkplug, yeah, we might have to delve into that one, see if we can find out what the crack is there.
Do we call him Rumble or Frenzy?
Rumble. Because they say it's Rumble, and if Cybertronic Spree say it must be right. So
and they're Transformers, they're going to know.
Exactly, they are Transformers.
They are Rumble.
Their opinion to borrow a phrase from someone we know.
If you're not sure who the Cybertronic Spree are, they are a band who dress up as these Transformers you see on the screen that Alexis put on and play. Well, they rock out to some of the classics from the 1986 movie, but they also have their own album coming up. But we're going to ask them about that in a second, and that is about it for them.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get them to hopefully explain kind of like a little bit about the history of the band and everything, because not everybody does know about Cybertronic Spree, but I think most of us who are deep dived into the Transformers community and everything else about it, we all know about them.
The Infected.
And you can go and watch their videos on YouTube, on the YouTube where you're watching us currently. Don't go now though, go later. And you can go and watch them at the Cybertronic Spree, and there's loads of videos of their performances, especially their live performances. That's what I love about these, when you watch the live stuff. you really get that feeling of what it's like to be at a live concert of theirs. And I suppose I could mention before they came on, I don't want to make it awkward when they're on, but TF Nation, we once had a discussion, well, I certainly did, with some of the lads from TF Nation about guests that we could get in, and one of the ones that I kind of said was, what about the Cybertronic spree? And yeah, that would be great at some point to get them over here. But I suppose, we had Stan Bush, didn't we? Which is why a lot of people say, well, if you've had Stan Bush, he did a concert, why not have the Cybertronic spree? But Stan Bush came across pretty much on his own. He had session musicians over here that then worked with him.
Yeah.
Whereas the Cybertronic spree is a whole band that they have to get all of their equipment and everything else across. So I think it is a little bit
From
more...
From
Cybertron, sorry, yeah. To come across the space bridge is what I meant. When I said come across, and across the space bridge, obviously. So yeah, it would be great to have them. I mean, like TFUKCon 2023. Imagine if they rocked up to that. That would be literally
amazing.
Rocked up to that. That would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
We'll get a chance, hopefully, to ask them about that when they arrive.
Yeah, so if you've got any questions at all for the Cybertronic spree, have a think now. Stick them in the chat. I know, Rudy, you had some very specific questions. Sorry, I haven't got back to your questions, but stick them in the chat, and we will ask them as they come on.
That was a bit of camp. But I've just had a message from the Cybertronic spree. They've just messaged me from Cybertron to say that they're having some connectivity issues because it's a long way away, Cybertron. They're just trying to sort out, and they've asked us just to stand by for a moment, which we will, because we are benevolent rulers of our lands. Not Paul, he's more of a tyrant.
We've got no British Empire.
Yeah, the whole empire that belongs to us. Do you think we should squeeze in a cheeky foreplay?
Have a foreplay review.
It's a 3-play, really, isn't it? Just a quickie.
All right, let's just have a quick.
Alexis is the unspirit where he is with me most nights.
I love it when you realise your wife's actually watching the show tonight, and she's just sent me a message that simply says, "Knobhead." Thanks for the support, love.
Well, we're going to play. Okay, so it's foreplay. I'm going to play this for my friend Catherine, who said she's watching the show as well. So.
Lynn, these are sex people.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is TFUKCon 1. Look. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. They'll think you want to join in.
She's a big Alan Partridge fan, so that's why that was there. So, who would like to go first in foreplay? So this week's foreplay is members of the Cybertronic spree. So we've chosen, if you can't remember who they are, them. Who? You see that?
Like one of those memory quizzes.
Who was there?
Take a quick look.
Right, sex people. Who wants to go first?
Go first?
Yeah,
I'll
do
first.
that.
So I've gone with Arcee, and my favourite version of Arcee, which is the Titan's Return version. And we had this toy on a couple of weeks back. Because Jamie, what were we doing when we did that? And you chose Arcee at the time. What was our?
I always choose Arcee for anything.
Well, there you go. But yeah, I've gone with Arcee in part because I knew that Jamie would be going for one of the other bots / members of the band, and I thought, well, who else is there? And Arcee,
Jamie's face.
Arcee,
The hair.
this version of Arcee, which obviously is based more off the Rebirth version, but I love that the Rebirth. Me and Jamie are in the same boat. It's our favourite, probably favourite G1 cartoon. I think it's fair to say.
Andy, talking of Arcee,
yes, is this
can
going
I
to be
just
really
add
embarrassing now?
a pair? Hello,
Hello.
Howard and Arcee. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
We are, well, we've been excited all the show. We keep talking about you non-stop. People keep asking questions. We're like, calm down, they're not here yet. Question after question. I can't remember them all, to be fair. So you'll just have to ask again in the chat if you had a question for the guys. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having us on Transformers the Show.
Oh, it's so cool to have you here. We've got loads. We're obsessed.
We're in good company.
We are, and you're drinking as well. So I've got a cheeky red wine.
Cheers.
Oh, there we go. Cheers till all are drunk.
Oh, that should be the motto for TFUKCon.
So, guys,
Ribena with a straw.
Jamie's gone hardcore. Whereabouts are you tonight?
We're coming to you live from Toronto, Canada.
Oh, nice. A beautiful place.
Yep.
And what are you guys up to tonight? Are you playing or have you got a night off?
Oh, did we lose? Have we lost it?
Oh.
No.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Our,
Now you're good.
our internet's spotty.
Is it ours?
I don't know.
It's someone's.
It could be mine. I was going to say I was downloading something dodgy then. No, it's something normal I'm downloading. I'll pause it and free up some bandwidth. So we were just asking what are you up to tonight, guys? Have you got a show on tonight, or is it just chilling out?
We're chilling out.
Yeah.
We're really excited because right now we're in the middle of fundraising our first original album. That's right, songs we actually wrote ourselves.
So
Ravage.
Yeah. So fundraising also means we're working in the studio.
Yeah.
We're recording stuff.
We're battling it out creatively. It's not easy writing songs with your enemies. Hot tip for any creatives in the audience there. Yeah, you may not want to start a band with folks you really can't stand. But if you do, at least make the music good enough that you all want to do it some more.
It's true.
That's what we're doing.
What unified you
Yeah.
together? What unified you together? Was that a hatred of Wheelie?
Yeah.
How did you know? Wheelie and Blur,
Yeah,
let's be
the
honest.
secret sauce, right? Yeah. No. Honestly, we were brought together by the power of rock, and by that I mean the awesome Transformers 1986 movie, which had a soundtrack that, to be honest, humans, none of your other soundtracks can even compare. It has Weird Al Yankovic, it has Stan Bush, it has Vince DiCola, Kick-Axe, Lion. The list goes on. All killer, no filler.
And that movie, actually, we were unemployed after that, so, you know.
Is that why you have not aged much? You still look so young as if you just came off the movie set.
Oh, you guys are charmers over there in the UK.
Well, we age at a very slow pace.
Been around billions of years, you know.
That's awesome. I hope you don't mind. We've got some loads of people typing in the chat. We've got a few questions. If that's cool. But first, before we do that, do you just want to talk about your new album? I've stuck a little thing which goes across the screen. I hope I've got it right. It is Kickstarter, and you've absolutely blown away your target. But you just want to talk us through that?
Thanks for the intro. Yeah, the setup there. You know what? We have blown through that target, but more importantly, everyone out there has blown through that target. When we started this idea, we thought maybe there'd just be a few folks interested in hearing what we had to say as rock stars in disguise, but it turns out quite a few folks are excited to hear original content. And
Yeah,
this
that
album
blew us away.
Yeah. It's going to be so much better knowing that there's an audience already there primed to hear it.
No, sorry, go on.
Yeah, that's true. The pressure is on for us to deliver the goods or be cast into the waste bin of obscurity.
Well, Matt Davis just asked a question, actually. He said that now you've absolutely blown that target and smashed it. Have your plans for the album changed at all, or is it still the...
That's a great question. Yeah, it definitely has. I mean, we made a very modest budget for the project, just trying to look at, what's the bare bones we could do to get Ravage made, because it's something that we wanted to do. But now that we know that I guess we have an audience listening and waiting to hear it, it means that we can really put some extra effort into making it special. And I mean, in true Cybertronic Spree style, what that actually means is kind of something we'll see down the road. Like with our first original, or our first album that we funded on Kickstarter, for Transformers 1986, crowdfunders again blew us away with their contributions for us covering the original 10 songs from the soundtrack. So what did we do? We added the deeper cuts, the extended 4 tracks, which made up the Darkest Hour EP, to all of our backers. So it wasn't announced. It was a surprise that we unveiled as a result of the overwhelming support. And on top of that, we even got Weird Al Yankovic to star in a video that we did for Dare to Be Stupid. So the sky's the limit, I'd like to say, in what we can do with Ravage. This time it's personal, so we'll see what that means in terms of how big a roar we can give Ravage on this.
Yeah.
How did you get Weird Al involved?
Oh, how did we get Weird
Alcohol?
It was a wing, a prayer, and alcohol. So, no, I forget.
Well, okay, we did this thing like, we asked Weird Al.
Oh, yeah.
And that always, it's always good. Weird Al kind of likes Transformers,
Hey.
So it was just one of those, like, matches made, game recognized game, as they say in the biz, and yeah, he was happy to do it. He's a sweet guy, and we were just not worthy. It was hilarious that he ended up crashing our shoot. A little known facts for those not in the know, maybe in the UK not so much, but ever since our first show, we've had guest Weird Al's come on to do Dare to Be Stupid with the band, and we'd switch it up. We'd have different artists coming in doing their best Weird Al impersonation, and so we've had rappers and other singers and stuff just killing that song live as Weird Al Yankovic. So we thought this video was an homage to all of those creatives that we'd work with, and we managed to get every single Weird Al up until that point that we performed with in the video. So it was sort of like us kind of shining back into all of the talented artists that worked with us, and also then having Weird Al just blow it out of the water at the end.
Cool. That is awesome.
It felt like a perfect meta kiss.
I'd never want him to leave.
I feel I need to say here that part of the reason why this interview came about was because I was actually listening to some of your music through YouTube, and I was having a listen to it, and that song had come on, and my wife had actually asked, what is that you're listening to? And it was actually my wife that contacted yourselves because I was explaining who you were and how great you were and everything, and she contacted yourselves, and that's kind of how all this that we're doing tonight has come about, is through my wife. So she's watching at the moment, and I know she's watching, so thanks, Claire. Thank you very much for that.
Thanks, Claire.
One
Thanks,
question.
Claire. Cheers.
One question I have, as Transformers, how hard is it to play human instruments, especially when you're all your battle gear doing live?
Right? That was our biggest challenge, even just starting as a band. We knew we had this idea. Well, rather, not to toot my own horn, but I'm going to toot my own horn. It was my idea. I thought, what would be cooler than having
like you,
Transformers play Transformers music? But it was a good idea. It was
a great idea.
It was a great idea, but it was not easy to accomplish. So we spent the better part of a solar cycle just trying to adapt to play Earth instruments. They're very fragile and very tiny.
They're slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of
the drop ratio is high.
Yeah, that's true. High drop ratio. We broke a lot of gear just trying to get it just so. And then that culminated, I guess, in our first ever appearance back in 2013. We did a live performance, played some of the hits for an audience. We're absolutely terrible. And then someone linked the video of it online. And I guess since then, we decided if we were going to do this more than the once, it's got to be good. And it got good.
That's so cool. This question's been asked quite a few times actually, but Stu, I think, was the first one. It's one I think I even texted you once and said, "Oh, any chance you could come over here?" And you were like, "Yeah, definitely. We definitely want to do that." So when you Ravage comes out, is there a chance of a European tour after the Canadian US one?
I mean, that's what we want. What we're trying to do is, and we almost got it to the UK before 2020 hit, and then all of a sudden all bets are off. So once again, we're trying to ramp up because we want to make sure that, it's not easy getting everything together. We've never been across the pond, so to speak. So yeah, we're excited about flying over there and making a thing of it. So I think it's lining up enough ducks. I think having Ravage come out helps just improve the profile of the band, unless the album sucks. But I mean, let's not plan for that. Or maybe it sucks so hard that people see it like they see The Room, Arcee. Like, they're always going on about Tommy Wiseau. Right?
Instant.
We're making a cult classic right now in the studio. And so we hope that 2023 is the year we get to come and make the UK happen.
You are so welcome over here. You would be kings and queens if you came over here. We have two conventions, TFUKCon and TFM. We're spoiled for them. I'm sure Eva would welcome you. But yeah, no, that would be awesome.
We've tuned into both. Yeah, we've tuned into both, and they're excellent communities. And that's it. It's something we've wanted to do for a long time. And really, we do need to reach out officially, I think, and probably get in touch with either one of those groups to see if we should do something with them or plan it around that, so that there's...
Well, we're involved with TFUKCon, which is slightly smaller.
Drop that in there, Jamie.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Right, like it's you can imagine there's a lot of logistical support that goes into making something like that. So, yeah, any support that we can put together is like it's welcome. I mean, we're doing this. We're a DIY punk band. I mean, that was what we were built for. Is we're just doing it. Our robots doing it for themselves.
I know we keep ourselves pretty clean, so you wouldn't know it. But yeah.
Shiny on the outside, but dirty punk on the inside. What is your sort of probably a question for me? What sort of punk bands and stuff or metal? What's your heaviest sort of music you're into?
Arcee, you want to go first?
Heaviest. I mean, one of my greats is Merciful Fate. That's probably, I wouldn't say it's like the heaviest thing. I know that Unicron listens to like a crap ton heavier music than that. But that's kind of my go-to. I like sort of skidsy metal. Yeah, I don't know. Hot Rod?
All right, last time you were dropping names like fire. It's my turn. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with a theme here.
I like Judas Priest.
There you go.
Nice.
There we go.
Just recently, yeah.
Yeah,
I dig. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do a theme. Here we go. I'm gonna name some artists I really like out of the UK. I dig the Gorillas. I like.
Oh yeah.
I like.
I think they're from Sweden.
Yeah, no, I know they're not from the UK. I was doing a theme.
Oh.
That's okay. But heavy stuff. Let's talk about heavy stuff. Well, Ghost it's fairly. It's like pop metal.
Pop heavy.
Yeah.
Pop metal. Yeah.
Trying to think of like on the heavier side of things.
Gojira.
Yes, love Gojira for sure. You know what? Cave In from New York. Shout out to those guys. They're great.
Oh, there are some good bands. What I'll do is we'll link to your good selves in the. I'll put some of those links in as well to those bands. We've got some really cool questions. Rudy, I love Rudy. He does an amazing channel. He said we all loved Run With Us, and we've all seen it, the cover you've done. But what other 80s cartoon intro theme tunes are your favourites, if you have some?
Well, yeah, you know what? Run With Us. I'm always amazed by how many people have seen that or know of it. And I'm always amazed by how many people haven't seen it.
I know. It's such a classic.
But my favorite that we do is definitely Thundercats. Just because I get like a sweet key solo, so get to show off a little.
Yeah, that is a good one. Let's see, what's something we don't do, but I really love. There's this old, let me see, contemporary and 80s, Silverhawks.
Oh,
I mean, it's kind of like it's that Shuki Levy, you know.
We've never done that though.
No, we haven't done it, but it's one of those Silverhawks, like it's. Partly metal, partly real. I'm like, it feels like only a matter of time. I know, yeah, exactly. See, you can't do the setup and then not deliver at the end. Let's see, that's pretty Western. What's something more contemporary we just recently performed She-Ra.
Yeah.
Really?
We did a little mashup. We did like both the old She-Ra theme song plus the new one. Those are both pretty great.
We did a version of Gem that was kind of like I Want to Be Your Dog.
That was great.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, Samantha Newark was there, the voice of Gem. She got to rock that out. You know, we do a convention in Pennsylvania, kind of like annually. They were the first convention that ever brought us south of the border. And so when they did that, they get sort of special treatment all the time, I like to say, because they're sort of a retro convention, and so they always want to hear like the classic 80s hits and like 80s cartoon theme songs.
Have you done Jason and the Old Warriors?
Yes, we rocked that one live. Yeah, that's a great
tune.
It is really good.
I've never seen the show.
You know, okay, here's a cartoon theme song. Lots of folks request, but we haven't done it yet. And maybe if we can budge the Unicron on it, but we're always getting requests to do Mask. And thematically it works with the band. Like you think that's an easy one, but like a lot of things in this band, we got to find consensus, and by that I mean we can propose ideas, but unless the Unicron says yes, well, it ain't
No, cool. Right, Jamie, do you have some questions, sir?
No, I basically blotted all my questions out.
You've done yours.
I have a question. I have a question that I wanted to ask, just because it's one of the other songs that I really loved, which is something you did with Word Burglar, which was the Metroplex. Metroplex Live.
Yeah.
Oh, I really love that tune.
Yeah, that was so cool. It was really nice of Bergie to invite me on to guest on it. He did that whole album was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Like he's such a talent. I mean, for those not in the know, Word Burglar is also a Canadian native, and he just raps about all the crazy cool stuff that I don't know, nerdy persuasion are gonna find interesting. So yeah, he's done an album on like G.I. Joe's, Welcome to Cobra Island. That's phenomenal record. I think that's my favorite one he's done. Aside from the one where I guessed, of course.
Yeah, you're so chill on that. I love it. It's so chill, the vibe.
Yeah, it's
like
really
Rohan.
cool. And I mean, it speaks to today's issues, you know? Finding a good place to live and affordable housing, it's not something that is, you know, in ready supply. So having that sort of like dream, you know,
neighborhood,
yeah,
like, it's not gentrified.
bringing back that vibe of, you know, when you need a place to be to call
You
home.
can always stay in my garage if you want. I've got plenty of space.
Thank you.
You know, it's
Like
an offer, and then you
Careful,
see
yeah,
it. Yeah,
I
it's
know.
like we take up a lot of room. Let me tell you.
Before you say yes, he cages some of his friends, so just be aware of that in
Oh
advance.
my God, you've got to explain it now. You can't just say
No, it's fine. It's fine. Everybody understands the context.
Another
What's the biggest gigs
question.
you've played?
Oh, go on. Sorry, you go for it,
Sorry.
Andy.
I was just going to say, what's the biggest gigs that you've actually played so far?
Biggest gigs, yeah, we've had a few different kinds. Like we started out more or less doing conventions that go where the fans are, and what first sort of resonated with people seeing the band. So yeah, of those, DragonCon is probably our biggest convention. It's such a great time. It's like several thousand folks all in downtown Atlanta. If y'all have never been, it's a bit of a mecca in terms of nerddom. Some of the finest and most talented creators, be it writers, folks working in special effects, so on, they all kind of go to downtown Atlanta and take it over for like 5 days. There's a whole parade, and there's literally 24-hour parties everywhere. All the hotels get booked up, and it's just this wonderful celebration of anything geeky.
And like creativity through the roof.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I feel outdone, and you know, I feel like we're just showing up in these old things, because it is really just such a magnet for creative folks. So yeah, that's definitely like the largest convention. In terms of like rock shows, I think we did I think the largest to date would probably be our appearance at the Gathering of the Juggalos back in 2019. And if you're not familiar with that, it's a huge festival. I mean, they've had guests like Ice Cube on there. And
It's a huge festival.
It's by Insane Clown Posse. So I think they
wow.
saw what we were doing. And they actually reached out to us to come and be part of the gathering, because I guess that's how it worked. And we just, what can we say? But yeah, all right. So we're always looking for a good party, and that was, wow, it was the biggest party we've ever done, for sure.
I have one question. Are you going to have any new human members to your band? Because I haven't seen Sparkplug around anymore.
No, that's a great question. You know, the thing about humans are they have things like human commitments. And Spike, while a great bandmate, you know, Spike's a dad, and he's got family life, the raising of children, not so much suited for the rock star lifestyle that we are accustomed to. You know, we'll take one for the team on that. But yeah, we wish Spike all the best, and he's definitely been in the stands in support, just kind of pitching in where he can. You know, we always say
Sometimes
there's
a guest. Sometimes we'll resurrect him.
That's true. We'll resurrect old Spike. I think
I could be your spark plug. I've got a similar build.
there you go. And what instrument do you play?
Triangle, jazz freestyle.
Triangle.
Jazz freestyle. Guys, listen, thanks so much. You made our show so cool tonight. We really appreciate that for you taking the time to come and see us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us on and talking music and such. We're big fans of Transformers. We're big fans of music, and feels like a wonderful combination of forces tonight. So again, thanks for having us.
No, thank you. You've been awesome.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Bye.
Go on,
Take care.
Cheers. Bye.
Oh, that was so cool.
So awesome.
God, I mean, we've just had the Cybertronic spree on.
I know.
I'm just going to
really,
fangirl
really cool.
out for a while over here. Oh, that was
I need
amazing.
to cool down. I have to run around
amazing.
naked outside now.
That might be something else.
Right,
I
so
know that, but now I've got a reason.
the show goes on. They were fucking awesome, weren't they? Really nice guys, and so cool for them coming on. If you haven't checked out their Kickstarter, just go to Kickstarter, type in Cybertronic Spree and look for Ravage. You'll be able to download it there. And what they're saying about the extra bits they're going to do, because they were after £18,000 to do the album, and they said that's the base amount they needed. And I think they've got the £180,000 currently the Kickstarter's up to. It's absolutely blown it away. So it'd be so cool if they done. I think it'd be cool if they done like covers of all 80s tracks, like Mask and the Raccoons, like as a B-side. That would be pretty awesome. But yeah, no, that was cool. I feel cool going into school tomorrow. Right, we were carrying on with our top Cybertronic Spree characters. You had just done Arcee.
Careful how you say that.
And it is over to Jamie to let's see what you've got, mate.
Well, I was just basically, picking Hot Rod again, and to be honest, I think it was you, Paul, that mentioned that, he's classed almost like the Voyager face bracket because of the engineering. Although he would be more kind of like deluxe size. But yes, absolutely wonderful figure, with the wee lens that comes down, his sunshades, which is a partner to help him aim better. But we also Transformers the movie. He's a great musician, but he can't shoot for shit, and yeah, fantastic figure, and it's just wonderful. Great car mode. In fact, you've seen photos we've done in the show. You've seen photos other people have done. If you haven't got this toy, if you haven't got this toy and you're a child collector, you have to ask yourself, what are you doing wrong in life? Because you really should have this figure by now. It is fantastic. It is brilliant. It comes with a lot of little gimmicks. It is definitely worth the price, because when you think about it, you're getting all this stuff in mod cons, which you would normally do if you were to buy a figure and then suddenly buy third-party accessories. In fact, all the accessories that comes with this figure would consider you 2 third-party accessories. It'd be like another 30 quid, and then postage you get here, you can be 35, and you're getting this wonderful figure and all of these accessories for like $31.99 when it first came out, and you can get it cheaper. And I got my versions from Robot Crew Crits and In Demand Toys, because I got 2, and it's absolutely just a fantastic figure. The way the hands can go in and the chainsaw thing can come out. I mean, just brilliant. And it doesn't come with a Daniel, so even better. But yes, excellent.
So I'm for Magic Square, Rumble, or Frenzy. I don't fucking care. Never. But Cyclonus is Skywarp. I do care about that one. This one I don't. And it's tiny, so I've done him with his pounder, his arm fist is there, so you can see that. I think the reason I chose him is because people keep trying to buy him off me, so I put him up for sale with voice ripple for about £40, and the amount of messages I've got saying, could I just sell him this little guy who comes with him? So I got him out the box. I was like, oh, that's why everyone wants him, because he's fucking awesome. He's so tiny. I cannot believe how involved the transformation is, how many things you have to twist and turn to get him to transform for such a tiny little robot. But you can see there, he's the size of my thumbs, so probably about the size of Alexis's arm. So he's a tiny transformer. But yeah, Rumble. Apparently he just runs around the show, doesn't he, for the Cybertronic Spree and dances. So what a cool
awesome. What an awesome job.
Just what a job that would be, though.
I don't think I could do that.
Like being yeah. No, I was gonna reference something that would make me feel sad, so I'm not. I'll tell you later. It's fine.
Was it anything to do with Arsenal?
No. I was just thinking. I don't want to make me feel sad.
We got some new people watching the show. Hello, Jack Ball, Claw, welcome to the show. Dearbal Clue, welcome to the show. Loads of returning ones as well. Billy Key Stokes.
Spree fans join us for that.
Well, and fans they deserve. What a pair of nice people they were.
They're really
awesome.
lovely, really lovely. And yeah, hopefully, as we get closer, well, not just closer to Ravage, hopefully.
Hot Rod's not too bad for someone who killed Optimus Prime.
Oh, we never even got to ask about that. Surely that was a question. We could have
Sorry, Develer.
Forever. And oh, there you go, pronunciation. And we never got to ask him that.
My family are Irish. My surname's
I've got a
Irish.
cousin-
Farrelly.
I've got a cousin called Siobhan. Try and spell that. Oh God.
Lovely
Right.
to have you all here anyway.
Are we doing the
Fine.
discussion? I can't remember what the discussion was.
I don't care anymore because I just had a good
Discussion
time.
was having an interview with the Cybertronic.
Oh yeah, I missed that bit.
Let's all discuss how much.
This
we
is the
enjoyed
highlight
talking
of
to the
our lives. Do you
Cybertronic.
think we should just end the show now? Just like that's it.
It's probably not going to get.
Never do
better,
another
is it?
episode.
Really?
I don't know. I think we could get worse. Right. Well, it's in scope. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to finish off with a song by E17, as we always do. So join us in for that.
Always. Like once before.
We really love you lots. It was brilliant if you saw us at the show last week, the convention. And if you're new to the show, thanks for joining us. Sorry we're so long, but see you next week.
Bye.
I have done what I have to do to end this war.
Don't you worry, 'cause it's alright. Don't you worry, child of the night. 'Cause in the morning come with the new day sun, love and everlasting light. We are the seed of a new breed. We are succeed, our time has come. We are the new, these words are true. Let the light of love shine through. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's really alright, it's alright, it's really alright. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, everything's gonna be alright. Alright, alright, it's really alright. No, don't be so sad, 'cause love is by your side. No, don't be so sad, this life is too short to live. No, don't be so sad, I'll be mad if you're this. It's alright, the message that I give. We are the seed of the new breed. We'll succeed, our time has come. We are the new, these words are true. Let the light of love shine through. It's alright, it's alright.
That is it. Good night.